Turn. Ah! No! Hit the can. All right. Get on. Break. No good. I don't know. Was that... Get in there! Jeez. Snuck that one right by. White loose. Smile for the camera. Go! Come on out! Play it back. Who's ready to go? Oh my God, my sister's going, man. Yeah, he's playing now. He's on Louis Street.
Get it, Dave, get it.
He probably beat you.
Get it. Now,
Yeah, right here, right here. Right here. Right here. No, dribble that way. Yeah. Hey, Willie, you finally got a goal. Right to the can. To the can. Hey! Yeah. Rock and roll. Really gonna rock tonight. Well, the pretty little raven at the first and John. Look at his diet. She's the 4-5. Look what he buys. Look at that faggot. Look. And then he buys ketchup. Low sodium. Low sodium. He's really watching his body. What? Yeah, that's a lot of salt on it. A little bit. All the salt. Everybody.
Go salt ketchup.
Go sodium. This is you right here.
It was like, forget about it. I'm serious.
I knew how to try. Remember the last time you broke it?
Wait a minute, forget about tying. Look, I cut my hand in Toys R Us. I got a G.I. Joe Band-Aid on. Look. Ow, my arm, what are you doing?
This guy's a hat?
You didn't say, right, we're going to Toys R Us. And I said, this is my waiting to get help. Let's just take the one which is on.
That looks like me from a side profile.
So we're going to take the one on display. I jumped up, I
I've seen it. He goes, look at this shit. It happened to come in the paper.
Look at the date. It's metal. Blood shooting all over the place. I'm like, oh man, what a bummer. I go to the cashier. I said, you have a Band-Aid? Craig, you're filming.
Yes.
I didn't know that. Anyway, so I cut my hand. I go here. Here's a finish. G.I. Joe Band-Aid. See, close up without. See it?
Hey.
Genuine G.I. Joe.
Hey, I do this at the restaurant all the time.
What?
Shut up, we're cooking. All right, take care of Bob.
You tell me,
throw the cheese on the hamburger.
I got the thing all tied up. I couldn't get my door open. I had to climb into the window. There was one lady looking at it.
Shut it now. It's cooking.
They don't fool around when you get a pool. It's a 6-foot round. They got fishes in there, everything. They can swim around.
Now we got all.
What happened to the car anyway? Oh, they didn't make any paint on it.
Yeah, light cheese.
They can really get.
No!
Fine, you want cheese on yours?
Yes!
Yes, you want cheese on it?
No!
Yeah, she got a bad picture of you, see? Because you're not taking it with you.
I don't want a picture taken.
It's not cool. Ed, did you ruin my car? It's not a turtle pool. Don't bring it to...
If I miss the turtle stick.
Yeah, let's see if it fits you. Let's see if it fits you.
Hi, dear.
What?
See if it fits you. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's do it, huh?
John, jump in, John.
Who wants to go swimming? There's only one problem. We have no water.
Sure you do.
Get the thing locked up over there. I know what to do.
Fill it with beer.
We'll go for a swim. Come on, dive into the deep section. Greg's a lifeguard. He's on duty over there. Very, very good.
Quarterback makes pictures so fast.
Greg with the video camera.
No, she won't be on it. That's it. You can't film it without that.
This nice lady sends our film down.
I got my G.I. Joe Band-Aid on still from yesterday.
Live, some extreme development. Let's say we're about to eat a steaming hot baked potato.
I'm impressed, Paul.
Well, that's not the only thing you can be impressed about. This is only my drink. What are you getting, a straw?
I think he's bragging.
That's the punch.
That's the... No, don't do that. I don't want to be on the phone.
Absolutely. I've got your tickets to see Billy Ocean at Radio City Music Hall. Just keep listening this afternoon, and you win right here at one of those Let's get 3 in a row started with Dire Straits. Saying hi to Neil, who is on Ocean Park.
Is that good or what?
Flatbush.
Thanks, huh? Michelle's in the shower. Patty's doing it next. So it's official, John.
That's it, isn't it? Don't forget the DJ.
It's so far away from me. Now where are you when the sun goes down? It's so far away from me.
I couldn't see.
That's 2 yards down. 9. Hey, I got the instant replay. I don't know. Should be in the room. Say hello. Well,
Hi. Hi, Greg. We met.
Okay. Hi. Go. And. Oh, all right.
Yeah, 1:30. 1:30.
That's what I want to know.
The barn?
Yeah, just the barn. I get my wife to ring back when I go above. Yeah, in the water. But every time she... He's a dick. He's a dick. Joey, get me a drink. Give me jumping into the
pool, huh? Okay. Get me jumping in the pool. I go, I'm gonna be a starter party, yeah? Let's close up, Craig. Zoom in on Anthony. It's like a conversation. Craig, get his little conversation in on there on Anthony. Hey, Anthony! Oh! Hello. Everybody is on video. Is that Craig? It's like a tape cassette or what? It looks like it. That's it. Uh-oh, we got him. We caught him stealing. I'm gonna tell Dean.
Remember my cousin? Hi, how are we? Remember my cousin Al? Venus! Over there. Venus! Oh! Come on! Come on! One more time! Oh! Yeah, mud wrestling. You know, the girls do that. Oh, it's for the girls. The mud wrestling for the girls. All right, mud girls. Hey guys, let's get the girls in there. Come on. Cool. I don't care. Throw the girls in there. Wait, we gotta do $100 ransom a week. $100 ransom a week. That's it? That's all I get? Wait, oh, come on. Go ahead. No face.
I can't do it, like, they won't come up.
Wait here, I'll help you.
Did you hear? We've looked.
That's it. Ready? Come on.
Next.
Hey, you ready? Ready? No? Yeah. Where's your shirt? Yeah, you can do it, man. All right, man. You going? No, watch it. What are you doing? Oh, good spot. I'm injured. Hey, thanks, boys. I got you. This guy's dying a little while. Oh, hey. Eddie's fucked up. Eddie's fucked up. He gets out. Look at him. Look at him. Chucky! Shoot. That was weak. I don't know about that. Come on, right through the front. Put the rock on it. Danny. Jump off the fence. Try to fence.
Ready?
Blue. Yeah.
Come on, we focus. Yeah. All right, come on.
Should I?
You got it. Right there.
What t-shirt contract?
Come on, do it. Something.
Call.
Come on.
Call in.
Warren, come on, Warren.
Right here.
Oh. Warren, sorry, Warren. Look at you up there nearly. Oh my God.
that feel
Oh,
for
watch
you?
that, watch that. That thing is dead right now. Fucking alcohol numbed it up.
Go this way.
Come here.
Zoom, Lance.
Zoom. Oh, watch. Ooh, nice panties.
What is this, the Benny Hill show? Gonna kiss it.
Don't be shy. Come back.
Come on, huh? Can I help you with this? Can I help you with this? Get out of here.
All right, come on. Wait, too big here. Back up.
Back up to the fucking house.
Come on, hey, pull it down. Hey, Scott, pull it down. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's see that little thing. Come on. Come on. I can't see shit. I can't see shit. Come on. Hey, what I'm focusing.
Get a little action going, man.
Move your legs a little bit. Up. Sit. Wait. Skin the tan. Zoom it in. Wait, you gotta whip that. You gotta yell. There we go. For insurance purposes.
tell me you're going to work. You tell Frank to close that place. You gotta go home. Yeah, no? I refuse to go to work. I'm gonna throw your ass out of this. Donnie! Cook! Don!
Hey, over here, cocktail! Cocktail!
Jeff, want a hamburger?
Give me one.
You missed it! It was running down the road. Hey, John! You taking this shit serious or what, man? Bring in the entrance. What's your name? No, it won't work. Sit. Come on. Class, babe.
No way.
I got this. My God, I want more than that. I want more than that.
One more time, Paul.
Pick up the bra, babe.
It's been a great 4th of July. Thank you, dear. Love it.
More than that.
More, babe. Do it again.
What is it? Oh, come on. You're serious. I know. I'm gonna take a piece. Oh, wait up. Where?
Hey.
You gotta go piece. All right, go ahead. Put those masks on right now.
I want my bed, Paul.
Soto covering to retire Hernandez and end the inning. 0-1. Keith working on a 6-game hitting streak over which he has hit 526. And has given in 19 runs in the last 15 games. Ball 2-0.
Mario Soto in this game has been throwing the ball well, obviously, but he's been swinging the ball occasionally. He did it right there. He's not staying on top of the ball.
Two balls, one strike.
As you release that ball, you know, some pitchers sling the ball naturally. A guy who stays on top normally and slings it is going to be in trouble all the time.
High fly ball to left field. Daniels flips the glasses down. Has it, and there are 2 out. When you talk about slinging the ball, for us, I guess Sid Fernandez might be the mind on the Mets staff, because a guy who is somewhat of a slinger in the fact that he sort of drags his arm a little bit.
I kind of call him more of a pusher in my own mentality of trying to decipher what somebody does. But Sid, when he doesn't stay on top of the ball, that's when his breaking balls and his fastballs, he really loses control and composure.
And it tends to flatten the pitch out.
Oh, big time.
Darryl Strawberry takes a fastball high for ball 1. Darryl drove in the only run of the game with a base hit to center with 2 out in the first inning. His 20th RBI of the year. Ball 2.
Some of the real hanging curveballs and sliders have been slung.
Action stops for a moment, then they're hit. Foul back on the play. 2 balls, 1 strike.
That's what Dizzy Dean said anyway.
Slung. Diz also used the term slug. Or the past tense of sliding.
He was great. As a kid, I really enjoyed watching him listening.
So did I. 2-2.
See, Dean with Pee Wee Reese, Buddy Blatton first. He was there for a long time. Memories of youth.
Old Diz and Pee Wee. 3-2 now to Strawberry with 2 out and nobody on base.
And here's a name for you, a little trivia. Who was the guy that was always behind him? Gene Kirby.
Is that right?
Gene Kirby.
Never was.
Diz used to always say, here's old Gene.
Ball 4. Second walk issued by Soto. Darryl did not get much to hit. And he's at first with 2 out for McReynolds.
Look at Soto's delivery there and his reaction. Certainly is an emotional pitcher.
Diaz out to say a few words.
He's not as emotional as Pascal Perez. Who is?
Well, he may be as emotional, but certainly not as animated.
Speaking of Pascal Perez, he's out 6 to 8 weeks. Yesterday, in attempting to bunt, he got hit by a pitch similar to David Cone last year. He broke his middle finger on his pitching hand.
And the way he was going, that is a big loss for Montreal. McReynolds 0 for 2, grounded into a force play and retired on a fine play by second baseman Jeff Treadway in the 4th. Strawberry has stolen 6 bases in 9 attempts. Not running, and the pitch outside to McReynolds for ball 1.
There's another team in the Eastern Division lost a pitcher yesterday, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Brian Fisher put on the 15-day disabled list. He's been pitching superb baseball for the Pirates.
Well, their whole staff has been doing a fine job by and large.
So you see that pickoff. Speaking of the Pittsburgh Pirates, Doug Drabek has a no-hitter going through 6 innings now. And that game in Pittsburgh against the San Diego Padres.
Padres batting in the top of the 6th. Pittsburgh leading 2-0. Soto still working on Darryl.
Mario Soto a little quick release to first base.
Grounded foul, and the count 1-1 to McReynolds.
Soto was another pitcher. We spoke many times about how Dwight Gooden has worked on his pickoff move because he takes such a long time to deliver the ball to the plate. Mario Soto is very much like that. So he's worked hard on trying to have a good, quick move to keep those base runners a little bit honest.
Now he steps off.
Again, Darryl Strawberry not getting a big lead. It's one of the ways, one of the things that I think a lot of base dealers could do better at if they look at that lead. He should have a bigger lead than that.
Darryl not running, and the ball grounded to third. Sabo, the short way to second for the force, and the inning is over. A walk and one left in the sixth. And at the end of six, it is still New York 1, Cincinnati nothing. Now here's a word from Manufacturers Hanover.
It takes years of experience and knowledge. And hours of hard work. It's called teamwork. At Manufacturers Hanover, teamwork means performance. To solve intricate financial challenges, you have to be able to pull together.
BMW 325i convertible, the ultimate tanning machine. For a test drive, contact your New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut BMW dealers.
When the sun's real hot, a day of hard work seems to last a week.
Boys, it's only 102.
Push. Head for the beer brewed natural as a mountain stream.
Head for the mountains of Busch beer.
Hawaii's hottest export, Tom Selleck, will make your heart throb and your senses sizzle when he falls in love. It's Magnum in Love Week, starting Monday at 6 on Channel 9.
Cal Daniels will lead it off for Cincinnati in the seventh inning. Mets leading 1-0. Ron Darling has allowed just one base hit. And Daniels takes the ball. Daniels has walked and fly deep to center. Ball 2. The Mets have a run on 3 hits. They scored in the bottom of the first, and it's been nothing but zeros since.
Lots of goose eggs up there. No slanty numbers.
Why do they have to be goose eggs? Why can't they be some other kind of egg?
Tradition, that's why. Tradition.
3-1 now to Daniels.
That's what Zero Mostel said.
Grounded to first. Hernandez backs up for the hop. Darling right there, one away. Daniels now with just 2 hits and 16 at-bats against the Mets.
Keith Hernandez planting. Good throw. Darling right at the bag in time, under control. The things you work at in spring training that you think are just monotonous and boring, but they pay off during the course of a major league season.
Here's Chris Sabo. He takes low ball 1. Notice how Hernandez gave Darling the ball right before he got to the bag. 1-1 to Sabo. If you throw that ball too late, the pitcher has to catch the ball and find the bag at the same time. The splitter gets him swinging and missing for strike 2, 1-2.
That's one of the few bad swings that Chris Sabo has taken in a long time. He really goes out trying to get this pitch. I mean, that was, he wasn't close.
That was a nasty downer. Now the high fastball for ball 2, 2-2.
Good setup pitch by Darling there. Be very surprised if he doesn't come back with another one of those split fingers.
Foul back.
He did not. He came back with a fastball. In fact, a pitch that Sabo would like to get back again because that was a good pitch to hit.
A hittable fastball. But Darling got it by him. Still 2-2. 1 out, nobody on. Punched foul and out of play. Sabo has flied out twice, once to right field and once to center field.
He is really having trouble covering that outside part of the plate right now on Darling.
And he's not really way off the plate either.
There it is.
No hope right there. Another outstanding split-finger fastball. A fourth strikeout for Ron Darling, who continues to cruise.
Got to stay out there. Good decision by Darling and Gary Carter. You can see he was struggling with those balls out over the plate. He puts it right there, right on the black.
2 out and nobody on, which has been the case in just about every inning for Ronnie. And here's Eric Davis. He takes a strike. Davis has struggled against the league, but in particular against the Mets. He is now 0 for 13 this season against New York. 1-1.
There's a note here in from Jay Horowitz that the Pittsburgh Pirates pitcher Doug Drabeck is not allowed to hit now through 7 innings. Someone else flirting with the no-hitter.
Ground ball to second. Temple with a good throw to just get to Speedy Davis, and the inning is over. Ron Darling, after the infield hit in the 5th, has now retired 7 in a row. 1-0 New York. In the middle of the 7th, now here's a word from New York Telephone.
One morning, Carol called her client just to keep in touch. Bill didn't. Carol's client connected her with a big contractor who got her another account, which led to another supplier who hooked her up with other firms, and one of them wanted to merge. All this networking helped Carol's company triple in size. In fact, they took over Bill's building. Think ahead. A call can make a difference. New York Telephone, a NYNEX company.
With just this much tire between you and the road, you need exclusive Bridgestone technology. Bridgestone builds more than tires that perform. Bridgestone builds confidence. So at 65 miles an hour, remember this and remember Bridgestone.
Hi, I'm Roger McDowell here with a few of my friends, and we are all members of the Farmland Dairies Junior Mets Club. Mets fans 14 and under can join us for all this season's fun and excitement by becoming a member of the 1988 Junior Mets Club. Our all-new Junior Mets Club kit contains exclusive items from the Mets and Farmland Dairies, including a Junior Mets digital sports watch, a membership card, discount ticket coupons to Junior Mets games, special edition baseball cards, an invitation to an instructional baseball clinic, and much more. To join, send your check or money order for $6 or $5 with 2 proofs of purchase from Farmland Dairies Milk to Junior Mets Club, P.O. Box 4777, Trenton, New Jersey, 08650. Please include your name, address, telephone number, and age. Allow 4 to 6 weeks for delivery. Join our Junior Mets Club today.
Mario Soto, almost matching Ron Darling's performance, has given up 1 run on just 3 hits. Trails 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the 7th, and Gary Carter, the hitter, who takes the ball outside. Carter, 0 for 1, has lined hard to left and walked. And he hits it well to left for a base hit into the corner. Carter digging for second as Daniels lobs it into third, and a leadoff double here in the 7th inning for Gary Carter.
Gary Carter's been struggling a little bit, but he gets a fastball up out over the plate. He hammers it into the corner. Cal Daniels picks this ball up, makes a decision. I'm not going to go to second base. I think he should have been more aggressive, because certainly you got to know who your hitter is. If he would have gone in aggressive there and made a good throw to second base, he might have had an opportunity to get Gary Carter, because Gary Carter, everybody knows, cannot run.
I'm with you all the way. I was very surprised, Russ, that he did not make an attempt. Here's Howard Johnson 0 for 2. Well hit, deep to right, but hooking. Foul ball.
Tell you what, the 1 run that scored in this game already, Cal Daniels made a bad play on Tupple and allowed Tupple to get a double. And that's how the Mets got their first run. You see Howard Johnson swing. Howard Johnson knows it's going to be foul. As you say many times, Steve, now it is an official at bat for Howard Johnson. He has jerked 1 foul.
Got to have 1 at least. It's just not Hojo. You can see the power that Johnson has produced. 10 of his 19 hits for extra bases. His average now 202.
Has not been a good day for Cal Daniels. He got on his first time up, on a walk and got picked off. Went out in the left field, did not make a good play, let Tuffle get a double. Not aggressive at all on Carter's double.
Line drive, base hit into left center field. Carter had to hold up. Daniels coming up with the ball. Here's Carter coming to the plate. He's safe. Johnson to second on the throw as the Mets lead 2-0, and Tommy Helms is out to argue. As Carter slid under the tag of Bo Diaz, and it's 2-0 New York.
Harry Wendelstedt, definitely one of the most respected umpires in the National League. This is a tough call for him. It's a ball where Carter's got a hold to see if the shortstop Walker's going to catch it. Daniels comes in. Carter's pumping. Here's the play. And it looks like Carter's feet get in before the ball tags him on the back. Certainly Harry Wendelstedt is right on top of that play. And regardless of all the pleading that Bo Diaz is doing, Gary Carter is safe.
I'll tell you what, you couldn't have better positioning. Here's a base hit by Kevin Elster to center field. Johnson rounding third. The throw from Davis. Cut off. 3-0 New York. Three straight hits here in the 7th for New York with nobody out. The Mets have played at 2.
Davis with a very good arm. Makes a big throw, but Howard Johnson's speed, there's actually no chance to get him, and Soto makes a good play by cutting that ball off.
2 big runs for New York here in the 7th inning. A double and 2 singles. And now Scott Breeden, the pitching coach, going to the mound with activity in the Cincinnati bullpen.
Boy, they got up hot and heavy.
There's Peter Edward Rose, who is up here on the 4th level of Shea Stadium, taking it all in, unable to manage his club until the 1st of June.
Well, I'll tell you what, he'd rather have 3 people, if you'll pardon this, because I know this took place, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this one. He'd rather have 3 people whip him than to not be on that field as the manager of the Cincinnati Reds.
I agree with whatever you say, Russ. No comment. Ron Darling to punt. And a high fastball popped up in the air. Bo Diaz, without even getting rid of his mask, catches it for the first down of the inning.
Bo Diaz was in foul territory. He looked down to see where the guy was at first base. Then he dawned upon him, wait a minute, I'm in foul territory. I got to catch this. Watch him take a peek.
Center fielder, Lenny.
He's going over. He takes a look to see where the guy is. Nah, I better catch this one.
It wouldn't have worked if he'd let it drop.
No.
Little egg on the face. Glenn Dykstra 1 for 3 with a base hit and a stolen base back in the 3rd inning. Pitch out. Elster not running. Ball 1.
Elster has stolen a base in his only attempt.
He draws a throw. 3 hits here in the inning before the first out recorded. And 2 runs in for New York. They lead now 3-0. One ball to Dykstra. Ball 2.
Ball almost hit Lenny Dykstra. Moving out of the way, he grabbed his knee like as if he felt a little twinge in there.
Frank Williams, the right-hander, farthest away, and Pat Perry, the left-hander, warming for Cincinnati. Dykstra grounds it through the hole, base hit to right field. Elster rounds second. He will go to third. Renicky up with the ball, throws to second, and the Mets have runners at first and third with 1 out.
I'd be very surprised if we don't see Scott Breeden coming out of that dugout. There's a little indecision in there right now. Just a look at Lenny Dykstra getting another hit. There's that ball right in the hole. Good running by Elster going into third base there.
Well, the Reds are caught in a little bind right now. They got a right-handed hitter couple coming up. And then Hernandez and Strawberry, the two left-handers, as we see Tommy Helms in the dugout. And I'm sure Tommy's trying to get Pat Perry in to face the left-handed hitter.
Well, he's got two people warming up, a left-hander and a right-hander. He certainly could have one guy come in and pitch the one hitter.
A fastball from Soto right in there. Strike one to Tuffle. Tim is 1 for 3. He doubled and scored the first run of the game back in the first inning. Since then, Tuffle has grounded to third his last 2 times up. Dykstra chased back. Dykstra at first with Elster at third and 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 7th, the Mets have scored 2. Tuffle misses the slider outside. Strike 1.
That slider away has probably been Soto's best pitch all day today.
Dykstra running a pitch out. They throw through. Dykstra safe. The ball gets away. Here comes Elster to score. And the Mets lead 4-0. A stolen base and a throwing error, or perhaps it'll be an error on Larkin, who did not catch the ball, that allows Elster to score.
Certainly Larkin could have caught this ball. It's not that bad a throw. He just gets caught trying to make the play. Trying to bring that tag down too soon. Certainly you cannot fault Diaz on that.
It is an error on the shortstop, Barry Larkin, that allows Elster to score. And for Dykstra, his 5th stolen base, his 2nd of the day. Tuffle with a pop up to short center field. Larkin going out. Now Davis calling off both Larkin and Treadway to make the play. As Dykstra stays at 2nd now with 2 out.
Hernandez.
Mario Soto battling. Here's Davis battling that sun, calling off his infielders. It's a tough field. He took a little peek. You see him yelling.
Well, now the left-handers are up. Keith Hernandez, the first of 2, and no pitching change by Cincinnati. A high fastball for ball 1 to Hernandez, who's 0 for 3. Working on a 6-game hitting streak. Keith has been hot. .444 over his last 10. And Hernandez will almost always step out when an airliner goes over, either to or from LaGuardia. Fouled back. 1-1.
We've talked many times about those planes. I think most of the hitters, even the pitchers, don't want to throw during those noisy periods, but I changed my mind on that, because if you're hitting and you hit the ball, there's no way the defense can help each other out. I think you should stand in there if you're the hitter.
They can't hear the bat come off the ball out there.
Definitely not.
Good point. Hernandez with a base hit, a looper into left field. Here comes Dykstra. Larkin with a throw. Hernandez going to 2nd. Soto's throw in time, and they get Keith to end the inning. But the run scores as the Mets put 4 on the board here in the 7th and lead 5-0. Rusty is out of here, and Tim's back in after this for Bud Light.
You want anything?
How about a light?
Could you make that a Bud Light?
If you want the great taste of Bud Light, ask for it.
Did you see?
No.
Did you?
No. Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
We make more paint than anyone else in the world. Enough to paint fleets of jumbos and 10 million houses. Last year, we made enough carpet fiber to lay a strip more than twice around the world. And we supplied plastics to all the biggest car manufacturers in Europe. Thanks to our dyes, last year a huge 286 million pairs of jeans were blue. But perhaps more important than all that, 4 million hearts rely on our drugs. We manufacture in 40 countries, and we sell to over 150. ICI, world class.
Spend some great moments with National Geographic. It's all part of A+ for Kids, Channel 9's ongoing commitment to learning. Monday night at 8.
Ron Renicki's going to lead off the top of the 8th inning for the Cincinnati Reds. The Mets now leading 5-0, and coming back in to work the final two with me, here's Tim McCarthy.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. And Renicki promptly fouls the first fastball back, 0-1 to Ron, 5-0 New York. An explosive 7th inning. 4 runs, the error by Barry Larkin. Mets now with 8 hits, and the Reds with a lonely infield single back in the 5th inning by Paul O'Neill. They've only had 2 base runners through 7. Split finger fastball is a strike, 1-2. How about that?
Graybeck now through 8 innings. The Pirates leading San Diego 4-0, and a no-hitter still intact.
Tapper toward short, and that ball hit something. And Ron had a tough time because of the sun. Mind you, the Billy Lowe story.
He lost the ground ball in the sun. Well, if you heard that story and never saw something like that happen, here it is. Ball wants to hit the front edge of the plate and took a funny hop. Now look at Ronnie battling. Boy, right in the sun. But he stayed with it, using his gloves as a shield, and was able to throw him out.
You don't want to get in the habit of using the glove as a shield, however. 0-1 to Paul O'Neill.
Although there have been those who...
You don't want to win the Gold Glove one year and then use it the next.
Clank.
That's a Joe Torre line. Great. Boy, Darling has everything working. How about Ron Darling pitching on Mother's Day? Huh?
Only appropriate.
0-2 to O'Neill, 5-0 New York. 1-2 to Paul. Fly ball, center field. Dykstra, glasses down, makes the play. 2 out, and the batter, Bo Diaz.
Well, as you would expect, a large crowd here at Shea today. In fact, it is another sellout for the New York Mets. The total attendance, 49,376, 47,875 paid. And all of the ladies 15 and over got tote bags on Mother's Day.
Popped up, and there's Tuffle. Darling has been magnificent. It's 5-0 New York. Middle of the 8th. We're back after this from the good old guys.
The world record-holding Aerotech from Oldsmobile, powered by a specially modified Quad-4 turbo engine. The production version of the Cutlass Quad-4 engine is available in the new Cutlass Calais. The optional 2.3-liter Quad-4 with 16 valves and dual overhead cams gives the Cutlass Calais more torque than the Porsche 924. This Cutlass Calais Quad-4 with special ground effects was built just for the good old guys. A lot of kick for a car under $15,000.
From the good old guys. Okay, bring it forward a little bit. Keep it coming. It ain't gonna fit, Charlie. Just trust me. Hold it there. Just lower it a little bit. Charlie, it ain't gonna fit. Take it easy. Just be gentle with it. You'll be fine. Just lower it a little bit more. Okay, just lower it. Sorry, Charlie. Take it easy. I knew it wouldn't fit, Charlie. Come on, I know it wouldn't fit. No way. If it's out there, it's in here. I know it wouldn't fit.
The 9X Yellow Pages. Why would anyone need another?
Come from work, you know I'm tired of on beat. Try to make some supper that I can't even eat. Jump in the shower, watch the world from my back. Gotta get you, baby, that's a natural fact. And the night time, that's the right time. I wanna be with you in the night time.
The night belongs to Michelob.
Pat Perry, the new pitcher for the Reds, replacing Mario Soto as we go to the bottom of the 8th with the Mets leading 5-0. Perry's 2-2 this year with a 5.95 ERA, and this is his 12th game of the year. He's worked 19 2/3 innings. He has given up 4 homers, walked 9, and struck out 11.
Well, Stevie, last Sunday, if you remember correctly, we were talking about no trees at the Joyce Kilmer service area in New Jersey. And we got a letter from Gordon Hector, who's the Director of Public Information for the New Jersey Turnpike Authority.
And there he is right there.
As you can see, by the expression and the hands out, Gordon's saying, what do you mean there are no trees here? Well, we understand that they have planted trees. That is a big tree to plant, and of course, Gordon, just in case we forgot, is showing us what a tree really looks like.
This are a tree.
So evidently there are trees at the Joyce Kilmer. Now, you know what?
That's what, you're thinking the same thing I'm thinking,
exactly.
Right? How do we know that's the Joyce Kilmer Service Plaza? Because they all look alike.
That's exactly.
And how do we know that's Gordon?
That's correct. Strawberry to hit against Perry, 5-0. New York on top.
The picture could have been taken anywhere.
Yeah. Looks like an older picture, like a late 40s picture. 1-0 to Strawberry.
Probably Gordon's dad.
Fastball for a strike. 1-1 to Darrell.
That was taken before all the trees at the Joyce Kilmer Plaza were cut down.
High, ball 2. Perry in relief of Soto. We were kidding about that the other day and talking about the letter from Gordon. Obviously, all this done in jest, but somebody had a great line about the Ernie Lombardi service area.
Oh, Vince Lombardi.
I'm sorry. What did I say? Ernie Lombardi. Probably takes you a longer time to get there, I guess. That's how slow Ernie was.
There's a guy named Stephen Price who wrote me a letter about the very same thing we were talking about.
Popped up and played. Chris Sabo over in foul territory. 1 out.
Anyway, Steve Price writes that our banter about the Joyce Kilmer and no trees at the service plaza reminded him of Ogden Nash's poem, Song of the Open Road. I think that I shall never see a billboard lovely as a tree. Indeed, unless the billboards fall, I'll never see a tree at all.
How true, unfortunately. Here's Kevin McReynolds. It was Red Foley who said the other day something about Vince Lombardi, right?
And Steve Price wrote in his letter, he says there's also a Vince Lombardi service area. Do you plan to erect goal posts there?
No halfbacks running around there either, right? No Paul Horning. 1-1 to McReynolds. Boy, Ron Darling has been just magnificent this afternoon. Only 2 base runners for the Reds. He has a 5-0 lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 2 balls and a strike to Kevin McReynolds.
There's a man of the hour, and it just seems like almost every game the Mets pitcher is going out there and doing a superb job.
Jammed, and again a pop fly to the opposite side in foul territory. This time it's O'Neill that makes the play. Gary Carter the batter. Gary has doubled, scored a run, walked, fly left. 2. A rather appropriate day for you to have
a conversation with Mel Stottlemyre. They say every story has a good beginning, middle, and end. Well, you began the afternoon with the Mel Stottlemyre interview. Mel was quick, if you were with us, to give credit to the offense and the way the defense has played behind his pitching staff, but you can't really take away from what the guys as a whole have done. And there's Mel. He's not going to take any credit for it ever. But when you consider that the team's ERA over the last 55 innings coming into the day was 1.15, and Ronnie has blanked them so far in 8 innings on top of that. Now it's 63 innings with an ERA of around 1 for this guy. 2 balls, no strikes to Gary Carter. You don't have to score a lot of runs when you get that kind of pitching. That's right. Inside, ball 3. You know it's not this easy. The Mets have certainly been making it look easy, however. Carter given the green light on the 3-0 pitch. It's 3-1 to Gary. 2 outs, nobody on, 5-0 New York. Obviously, it's awful early to compare seasons and to look at this as any significance for the rest of the year, but the Mets are only 1 game behind the pace they set in '86. Fly ball deep to right center, but playable. Over is Ron Renick, and he makes the play. So Pat Perry comes in, retires the Mets in order, but after 8, it's 5-0 New York. We're back after this from Nissan.
The reliable Nissan Sentra is loaded with the kind of human engineering people want. And for a limited time, Sentras come equipped with an added feature everybody wants: cash. Right now, you can get $500 cash back from Nissan on Sentra 2-doors, 4-doors, hatchbacks, wagons, and sport coupes. All you have to do is decide which Sentra you want.
Maybe we should just leave it here.
Can't leave the car here.
We're going to miss our plane.
As an aircraft mechanic for Delta, Bob Swift doesn't meet passengers every day.
Well, need some help? Sure do. It's not exactly a jet engine, but you think you can fix it?
Yeah. What time is your flight?
6 o'clock.
You think we'll make it?
Oh, you'll make it. Go ahead and try it.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much. Bob, what have you been doing? Oh, a little road work.
It's ready. It's here. It's the highest octane under the sun. And this is the source. New Sunoco Ultra 94. It's the highest octane of any major brand. New Sunoco Ultra 94. The highest octane under the sun.
A garbage can. That woman did it. Abortion. The battle rages. Tuesday at 9.
Well, one of the 49,000 plus on hand here today who has reason to celebrate Mother's Day is Tony Darling, wife of Ron, who is one of the many young mothers in attendance, and she has more than one reason to celebrate with the way her husband is pitching this afternoon. Ronnie is 3 outs away from recording his 3rd complete game and 3rd shutout already this year, and it would be his 3rd victory as well. Jeff Treadway, the hitter, he skies one into short right center field on the first pitch. Strawberry and Dykstra both coming hard. Darrell can't get it as he and Dykstra appeared to collide a little bit, at least their gloves, and the ball falls in, and Treadway winds up at second base. And it is scored a base hit.
Well, it's got to be scored a double because of the turn of events that happened. Ball's got to be caught. Somebody's got to take charge, but neither Darrell nor Lenny took charge. Certainly an outfielder's ball.
Number 22.
Well, they are very fortunate that they didn't collide. Dykstra pulling up in time. Even though Darrell laid the
glove on it, it's as much Lenny's fault as Darrell's. But nobody really taking charge there.
Collins lays down a bunt, pinch hitting, and he will beat it out. And on the play, Treadway goes to third. So Dave Collins pinch hitting for Pat Perry, bunts for a base hit, and moves Treadway over to third on the play. So runners at first and third with nobody out here in the ninth inning.
Barry Larkin.
I would imagine that will get the bullpen motoring for the Mets, even though, you know, look at the texture of the two hits. A bloop to right center and a bunt.
Larkin hits it well to center field. Dykstra was shaded to left, has a long way to go and makes the diving catch. Treadway will tag and score. The shutout is gone, and the Mets lead 5-1. It could have been a lot worse for New York had Dykstra not made a great effort.
Well, this is really a fine play because the ball keeps tailing away from Dykstra, hit by a right-handed hitter. A fine, fine play, especially considering the fact that Lenny wears the glove on the right hand. Great play by Dykstra.
A sacrifice fly for Barry Larkin. And the first run scored by Cincinnati. One out here in the ninth, and Cal Daniels takes the ball. Daniels 0 for 2 plus a walk.
I guess Davey Johnson, certainly considering the fact that the first two hits were not of a solid variety, and he didn't have anybody up, but now Myers and McDowell are up. So he's reconsidered, excuse me.
Reconsidered probably in part because of the way Larkin hit that ball. That may have been the hardest ball hit off Ronnie today. And there's Roger, the right-hander, and Randall Kay, the left-hander. Good split of strike two, 1 and 2. Darling has had all of his breaking pitches breaking through the strike zone. He has walked only one. Strikeout number 5 for Darling, and the second out here in the ninth inning.
He has really had this pitch working for him today. I think this is the sharpest that Darling has been in his major league career. I think this is the single best game that he's pitched, with a possible exception of that game he pitched the first game of the 3-game series against the Cardinals back in '85 against John Tudor. The 9-inning no decision won by Darryl Strawberry in the 11th. That home run off Kim Daly.
Monstrous home run by Strawberry. Chris Sabo, the batter. And a ground ball foul outside of third, and the count 0-2. Well, now they're going to the ninth inning in Pittsburgh, and the Pirates still holding a lead of now 6-0 over San Diego, and Doug Graybeck still has the no-hitter intact in the ninth inning in Pittsburgh.
The hitters, Randy Reddy, Roberto Alomar, and Tony Gwynn, slated up for the Padres.
So it's not over yet. With Graybeck working on a no-hitter. Darling now working on a 3-hitter with 2 out here in the ninth inning. And Collins, the runner at first. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Strike 3, Ron Darling. Although he loses the shutout in the ninth inning, pitched a superb ball game. And the Mets roll continues. They have now won 13 of their last 15 games and 10 of their last 11. Darling's new career low. His low in a complete game effort prior to this was 4 hits. This is his first 3-hitter. He had 3 4-hitters in his career prior to today. So Darling picks up his 3rd complete game and his 3rd victory. He is now 3-2 on the year as he strikes out Chris Sabo to end the ball game and give him a total of 6 Ks against 1 walk in the 9 innings of work this afternoon. Mario Soto, the loser, is 1-2 as the Mets sweep the Cincinnati Reds for the 2nd weekend in a row. Jim and I will be right back to wrap it up, and Ralph will have a Kiner's Corner for you, so stay with us. The Mets win at 5-1, and we're We're back after this for your Lincoln Mercury dealers.
First, there was XR4 TI. The car that led Lincoln Mercury to its third straight Trans Am Racing Championship. Now there's Scorpio 2, the car that combines German performance with the features and appointments you can be comfortable with. And they say lightning doesn't strike twice. XR4 TI and Scorpio. Two bold strokes of driving excitement. Imported from Germany for select Lincoln Mercury dealers.
No matter where you drive, all the tire between you and the road is this, about the width of your finger. Here's where you need exclusive Bridgestone technology. Every Bridgestone tire is performance engineered from the ground up, which means Bridgestone builds more than tires that perform. Bridgestone builds confidence. So at 65 miles an hour, remember this and remember Bridgestone.
Friday, May 13th. It's Jason versus Tina.
Don't go in there!
The match made in hell. Jason is back, but someone is waiting.
There goes the neighborhood.
Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood, rated R. Starts Friday, May 13th at a theater near you.
Steve Zabriskie and Tim McCarver for Rusty and Ralph. Back here with you at Shea Stadium, where the Mets' roll continues, led by a brilliant pitching performance again. Ron Darling's third complete game. He's won all 3 games. He's pitched 2 shutouts of those 3 victories, now 3-2 on year. You wonder the way Ronnie's pitched, how in the world he's lost 2 games, and he barely did lose 2 games. But if my numbers are right, Timmy, the Mets have now gone the last 64 innings and given up only a total of 8 earned runs. And regardless of what Mel Stottlemyre says, the pitching staff is really the real key right now at the moment.
Ron Darling has just been unbelievable. He has pitched 6 ball games, and he hasn't gone less than 7 innings. He's gone 7 innings 3 times, 9 innings 3 times, and you can look right up and down the pitching staff, and all of the pitchers have just really been doing the job. I remember catching back in 1968 for a ball club that pitched 30 shutouts that year. The St. Louis Cardinals had 30 shutouts. That was the year Gibson had the 1.12 ERA. He had 13 alone. And I think the Mets are capable of surpassing that this year, the way they're going.
Boy, they came very close to their 8th today.
Yeah.
Ronnie lost it in the 9th inning. They do have 7 already, which matches their total of 1987 already. Ronnie, of course, is the Budweiser player of the game. Ron Darling with an outstanding performance. As he goes the distance, he gives up just 3 base hits. He gives up just the 1 run, of course, earned. He struck out 6, walked only 1 in pitching his 3rd complete game of the year. So Ron Darling, the Budweiser star of the game, and we'll be right back after this word from Michelob.
When I was growing up, we moved from one apartment to another. A house with a yard. That's important for a kid. My parents couldn't do it, but I promise you, your dad and me, somehow we'll make it happen.
At Manufacturers Hanover, we'll help you plan ways to get the down payment you need and approve you for a mortgage even before you start to look.
Nissan hard-body trucks are put together the way truck people want a truck put together. And now Nissan has put something else together. Hard-body trucks and cash. For a limited time, you can get from $500 to $700 cash back from Nissan on hard-body trucks. 2-wheel drives, 4-wheel drives, long beds, king cabs, the works. So if you're looking for a tough truck, now's the time to get yourself a hard-body. And a fistful of dollars.
Okay, bring it forward a little bit. Keep it coming. It ain't gonna fit, Charlie. Just trust me. Hold it there. lower it a little bit.
Charlie, it ain't gonna fit.
Take it easy. Just be gentle with it. It'll be fine. Just lower it a little bit more.
Okay.
Just lower it.
Sorry, Charlie.
Take it easy.
Okay, I knew it wouldn't fit. Come on. I knew it wouldn't fit. No way. If it's out there, it's in here. I knew it wouldn't fit. The 9X Yellow Pages. Why would anyone need another?
I want to wish on behalf of... Okay, I want to wish Happy Mother's Day on behalf of the Mets, Wally Backman, Kevin Elster, and myself, Howard Johnson. Happy Mother's Day to all the wives.
And I'd like to add to that by having a very happy Mother's Day to all our beautiful mothers.
And we will add that list to the mother-in-laws out there. Happy Mother's Day. Except for Kevin's wife, who's not a mother.
Three accomplished professionals, wouldn't you say? Well, I like that. What does that blah, blah, blah mean, anyway? Anything they want. The way they're playing, anything they want it to mean. They can do no wrong. And we only echo those thoughts of a happy Mother's Day to all of you out there, whether you belong to us or to anybody else. It's your day. The Mets now, of course, are going on the road, and I think you'd have to say, Timmy, it's their toughest road trip with the stop in Houston for 3 games before the normal 10-day trip to the West Coast. The way they're playing right now and the pitching they're getting will be put to the test, really.
No picnic in the Dome, and the West Coast has been a burial ground for a lot of Eastern Division teams over the years. So, you know, this is a true test. I think the Mets would take a 500 road trip right now, but the way they're playing, I don't know whether they will be satisfied with that. The pitching has just been phenomenal.
Well, the old adage, of course, is you win at home, play 500 ball on the road, and you'll do all right. I don't think that really applies anymore. There's more parity, and it's
true.
In the Eastern Division of the National League, it's going to take a better record than that to win it, and the Mets are moving in that direction.
The Mets 10-4 on the road this year and 11-3 at home. They've won 19 out of their last 23 ball games. They got it going.
And they lead the Pittsburgh Pirates, even though Drabek, we heard, had his no-hitter broken up in the 9th inning. Even if Pittsburgh holds on and wins the game, the Mets will still have a 2.5-game advantage. We'll be right back with a final word for you from Shea right after this for Meineke.
I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler.
At Meineke, we install quality Everlast mufflers from just $18.93. Installed.
This plant could have employed a lot of people. It could have helped us compete in foreign markets. But like 95% of the mid-sized companies in America, the company that wanted to build this plant couldn't get the bond rating it needed. So it couldn't afford to raise the capital it needed to grow. Or for that matter, survive. Since 1977, more than 350 companies have been able to fund their growth with the help of high-yield bonds financed by Drexel Burnham. Today, those companies employ over 2 million people, proof that innovative thinking is not just good for business, but for everyone. Drexel Burnham, helping people manage change.
Hawaii's hottest export, Tom Selleck, will make your heart throb and your senses sizzle when he falls in love. It's Magnum in Love Week. Romance is the name of the game for the sexiest private eye.
It certainly is the stuff movies are made of.
Things are really going to heat up around here during Magnum in Love Week. Fall in love with Magnum, beginning Monday at 6 on your station that brings you Magnum 5 nights a week. Channel 9.
Well, Tim and I were talking about the upcoming road trip, and just this reminder that our next televised game here on WWOR, Wednesday night from the Astrodome, it'll be Dwight Gooden against Mike Scott. What a matchup that'll be, and we'll be on the air with you at 8:30 Eastern Time. The line score and the totals again for the Mets: 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors. And for the Reds, 1 run on 3 hits and 1 error. Ron Darling, the winner, goes all the way. He is 3-2, and Mario Soto, the loser, is 1-2 on the year. Tim?
All right, Steve, sounds like a wowzer for Wednesday night. Gooden and Scott, man. New York Mets baseball has been brought to you by Michelob. So exceptionally smooth, the night belongs to Michelob. By Manufacturers Hanover, the financial source worldwide. By Nissan Cars and Trucks, built for the most important race of all, the human race. By AT&T International Fax Transmission. Is there any other way to do business? AT&T, the right choice. By Sunoco, who offers you new Sunoco Ultra 94, the highest octane under the sun. By RC Cola. Some people will go out of their way for the taste of RC. And by Delta Airlines. We love to fly, and it shows, to more than 150 cities worldwide. Our guest this afternoon will receive the Professional Home Protection Starter Kit by Black & Decker. Compliments of True Value Hardware Stores and Home Centers. As Steve said, be with us again on Wednesday night when the Mets take on the Houston Astros at 8:30 p.m. New York time right here on WWOR-TV. Now stay tuned for Kiner's Corner. Our special guest this afternoon, Howard Johnson. The executive producer of Mets Baseball 88 is Rick Miner. Produced and directed by Jeff Mitchell. Our associate producers this afternoon, Steve Olbaum. Our associate directors, Alexander Salmon, Dave Wargo, and Steve Olbaum. Steve's a very popular guy this afternoon. The announcers on the preceding telecast were approved and contracted for by Sterling Doubleday Enterprises. And Mets Baseball is a production of Channel 9 Sports. Good afternoon, everybody.
You're working on your American dream, 'cause you want it to last forever. And if something is starting to show the years, you want to make it better.
Give your home new Anderson windows, 'cause when it comes to your home, nothing but the best will do.
Come home to quality, come home to Anderson.
Available at Abbey Lumber, Windorama, Statewide Windows, and Window Headquarters.
Today, sir, tender roast beef accompanied by potatoes francais.
Holmes?
Sir?
Totally awesome, dude.
Awesome indeed, sir.
Roy's regular size roast beef sandwich, plus medium fries and a 15-ounce drink. Right now, just $2.99.
BMW 325i Convertible, the ultimate tanning machine. For a test drive, contact your New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut BMW dealers.
Bargain hunting for a muffler? Get the Midas Economizer. It's guaranteed, installed by experts, and costs just $25. Nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
The other station moved their news to 11. We stayed at 10. Just for you. Pretty foxy, huh? Sundays, the news at 10. Only on Channel 9.
Kiner's Corner is brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By Mitsubishi Motors, who invite you to come see the full line of cars and trucks. Mitsubishi, suddenly the obvious choice. By NatWest USA, raising the standards of banking.
Well, hi there, and welcome to Kiner's Corner. The Mets sweeping the Cincinnati Reds by a 3-game series by winning all 3 and winning by a score of 5-1. Our guest in the show will be Howard Johnson, who had a spectacular fielding day today, drove in what was really the key run of the ball game. We'll be talking to Howard and also looking at the highlights of the ball game, and we'll be back in just a moment right after this message from Budweiser.
Hey, pal, this is where we start. This Bud's for all that you do.
This is where we start. Papers say you busted it up pretty good.
Too fancy for you, huh? One more. Can you beat those doubts and fears?
Ready? Not today. Don't you mean never?
For that something that won't let us quit, the clean, crisp taste of Beechwood Aged Budweiser.
To your first game back. Thanks, man.
This buzz for you.
If you're looking at luxury sedans like Acura Legend or Nissan Maxima, you're in among cars costing very serious money. And just when there seems no end, Mitsubishi introduces Sigma. Featuring 3-liter V6 power and offering ABS anti-lock braking. Comparably equipped, yet lower priced. Mitsubishi Sigma is a serious luxury sedan at a price that's not too serious. Mitsubishi, suddenly the obvious choice.
Well, our guest in Kindness Corner is Howard Johnson, who had a very outstanding day here today. And Howard, you got off to a slow start, but the one thing that's very good about the fact that you're not tearing it up like you did last year is the fact that your defensive play has been very good. And, of course, you worked on that this spring. You really wanted to get that down.
Well, that was probably the biggest thing I wanted to work on was my defense. And, you know, I can't say enough about our team. The pitching staff's making it easy, really. You know, that it seems like we're always ahead. Pitchers are keeping the guys on their toes, and it's easy to play behind. And, you know, we're just having a lot of fun right now.
I'll say you're having a lot of fun. 11-3 at home, and that's always nice when you can play that kind of baseball at home. One of the things that is interesting about this season, as far as you're concerned, is that your reputation precedes you this year because you are tied for second in walks. You're getting a lot of walks, 19, as a matter of fact, coming into the ball game, and that means they're not giving you much to hit because of the tremendous year you had last year.
Yeah, I'm having to be a little more patient than I'm used to being. I should have a lot more walks. Early in the season, I was swinging a lot of bad pitches, striking out a lot. I really cut that down on this last road trip. I think I struck out one time, and I got a few more walks, and just a little more patient. Early in the season, traditionally, I've been slow getting started. It's about this time last year I started to really come around. Actually, the numbers are pretty good considering the start. And, you know, we'll get rolling here. We got a long way to go, and we'll get some good numbers up there, believe me.
Last year you led the league at having your bat examined, and this year you already had it taken away once. Does that bother you at all?
Not really. Not like it used to. Whitey pretty much said, you know, he didn't believe I was corking the bat. He just wanted to check it. And
agitate a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's the problem with the rule, is that they can take your bat and they don't have to believe you're corking the bat. They get a game bat out of the ball game.
That would bother me as a hitter because when you get a game bat, it's like finding a perfect jewel.
Yeah.
They're hard to find. Everybody, you just can't find a bat that's just exactly what you want very often.
Right, and consequently, I'm using different bats in different parts of the game. I have a different bat I hit with right-handed. Different one I use left-handed. A lighter bat that I use against guys that throw a little harder, and a little heavier bat against guys that try and finesse you. And, you know, so if they do take one, then I have a couple other ones I'm comfortable with.
Be like a violin player having the Stradivarius taken away from him just before the concert starts. It's a little tough to handle.
Yeah, well, there's nothing I can do about it. I just have to just take it and go from there.
Well, Howard, you went from there real well in today's ball game. Let's take a look at some of the highlights in the ball game. Two good fielding plays. One of them a great play, and certainly a big aid to Ron Darling here. You take this ball hit by Soda.
Right. Well, Ronnie's getting ahead of all the hitters. The guys are up there swinging. Like I said before, we're on our toes. We're ready to go. This play here, Larkin hits the bullet down the line, and I've been in good fielding position all year. My concentration is real good. And that was a case right there, just being ready for anything, and being able to get on top more with my throws makes it easier for Keith, especially when the ball's in the dirt.
And this is a big key hit of the ball game. Breaks the game open.
Yeah, Mario threw me a backdoor slider, kind of hung it up there, and I just tried to stay on the ball and go with it. In that situation, the thing is to try and pull the ball, but the first pitch he threw me was a hanging slider, and I pulled it foul. And right there, that's when I just kind of widened my stance a little bit and just tried to use my hands and make good contact and just let, you know, the ball's out there, just hit it over there.
Perfect way to hit, and certainly a big run. Yeah. Gave the Mets a 2-0 lead. They went on to score 2 more in that inning and win the ball game by a score of 5-1. Howard, congratulations on a fine homestand and also breaking that slump, getting it going, and all right, we'll see you down in Houston.
Yeah, we got a big road trip here, 15 games, I think, or something like that. It's important for us to play well. We got a lot of momentum right now. Pittsburgh's on our tail, so we got to keep it up and don't let up at all. Let them know that we're for real this year.
Now, that's the one thing about baseball. One day is over, and the next one comes right up again.
I tell you, it changes overnight. Keith had a big road trip. It all started in Atlanta one night, 7 RBIs, and, look at him now. He's just on fire.
Everything is working, and Howard Johnson part of it. We'll return in just a moment right after this message from Nat West, USA.
At one bank, if any branch employee doesn't greet a customer in a courteous way, and we agree, they'll pay $5 on the spot.
That's guaranteed.
Nat West, USA.
This buzz for all that you do.
Papers say you busted it up pretty good. This is where we start.
You got a long road back. You missed the cheers. Can you feel those doubts and fears?
For that something that won't let us quit, the clean, crisp taste of Beechwood Aged Budweiser.
To your first game back.
This buzz for you.
Need a car loan fast? At one bank, if they don't give you an answer to a phone application by the end of the next business day, they'll give you $50. That's guaranteed.
Nat West, USA.
Well, the Mets won it by a score of 5-1. The highlights of the ball game. The Mets got off to a fast start in the bottom of the first inning. Darryl Strawberry singles, and Tuffle double comes in to score the first run of the ball game. Darryl hitting the ball into center field. Tuffle chugging around, and the Mets lead it by a score of 1-0. In the bottom of the third, Mets thought they had a run here, but a great play by O'Neill at first base. He takes a double away from Keith Hernandez and holds the runner at second base for the final out of that inning. But then in the top of the sixth inning, this play here by Hojo, as we saw it in the interview with Howard, keeps the Cincinnati Reds from scoring in the ball game. And now the Mets get it going in the seventh inning. Howard Johnson with a single over the head of the shortstop Larkin. Carter, who had doubled, comes in to score from second. And on the play at home plate, Carter's called safe, and Johnson goes down to second base. And with Tuffle at bat, Dykstra deals second, and the ball gets away from Larkin. And on that play, Johnson comes in to score, and the Mets have another. Make that Elster comes in to score, and the Mets have the lead increased. And now another base hit by Keith Hernandez just over the head of Larkin, and coming around to score. And the Mets now have a lead of 4-0 over the Cincinnati Reds. And Hernandez throwing out at second, trying to draw the throw at second to get that run in. And then here is the only run of the game for the Cincinnati Reds. Dykstra makes a great catch, and coming in to score from third is Treadway. Treadway had reached when the ball should have been caught in the outfield, and if that ball had been caught, Ron Darling might have had a one-hitter in the ball game. But he loses a shutout, and the Mets win it by a score of 5-1 as Darling picks up the victory. Another fine game for Ron Darling. We'll return with the scoreboard in just a moment, right after this message from Mitsubishi Motors.
Suddenly, there's a whole new way of looking at sports sedans. The new Mitsubishi Galant. Its design is dynamic and spirited. Unlike Camry or Accord, Galant offers the world's most advanced electronic suspension, available anti-lock braking, and was voted Japan's Car of the Year. But Galant's most significant development isn't just the technology that's gone into it, but the feeling you'll get out of it. The new Mitsubishi Galant, with prices starting around $10,700. It's suddenly the obvious choice.
In the minors, you must have called it all 1,000 times. Then one day, you got the call.
What's this, rookie umpire?
Here's to you, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
Compliments of that gentleman.
This buzz for you.
about the width of your finger. Here's where you need exclusive Bridgestone technology. Every Bridgestone tire is performance engineered from the ground up, which means Bridgestone builds more than tires that perform. Bridgestone builds confidence. So at 65 miles an hour, remember this and remember Bridgestone.
Well, the Mets won their ball game by a score of 5-1, and the Pirates kept pace as they won their ball game 6-2. That's not the entire story of that Pittsburgh ball game. Drabek was working on a no-hit, no-run game. As he went into the ninth inning, he lost the no-hit game. He also lost the shutout when he gave up a home run to Marvell Wynn. It came in the ninth, and it came as one man on base, and the Pirates won it by a score of 6-2. Wynn getting his third home run of the year. Jimmy Jones, a losing pitcher in the ball game, his record stands at 2-4. Drabek now 4-2. So the no-hitter down the drain in the ninth inning. Houston with 4 runs in the sixth inning, now leading Montreal by a score of 6-1 after 7 innings of play. Yeoman's knocked out of the box for Montreal. McClure has relieved him, and Nipper working on that ball game for Houston. Philadelphia playing in Atlanta and leading by a score of 3-1 that game in the bottom of the sixth inning. Ruffin on the mound for the Phillies, and Smith started for Atlanta, and Assemacher relieved him in the seventh inning. James, a home run in the sixth with one man on base in that game, his third home run of the year. The Dodgers with 3 runs in the fifth inning, leading St. Louis by a score of 3-2. That game going to the top of the seventh. The veteran Don Sutton on the mound for the Dodgers. De Leon started for St. Louis, and they're both still in the ball game. Gibson got his 5th home run in the first with no one on. Alessia got a home run, his first in the major leagues. That game in the third with no one on base. San Francisco tied up with Chicago at 4 after 4.5 innings. Garrett's now pitching for San Francisco. Nipper going for Chicago. Maldonado a home run in the fourth with 1 on, and then Brentley followed him with a home run, his second of the year, and 2 big home runs in that game for San Francisco. Over in the America League, it's Chicago playing in Baltimore, and Baltimore leading by a score of 5-4. That game in the top of the 8th inning. LaPointe, who is leading the American League in earned run average, started that ball game for the White Sox. Tibbs started for Baltimore, relieved by Schmidt in the 5th inning. Griffin got his 6th home run. Boston got his 1st home run, and Baines got his 4th in that game. Boston playing in Minnesota, and it's Minnesota tied up with Boston at 6-6. And that game is in the top of the 6th inning. 6-6 right there. Boyd on the mound for Boston. Anderson started for Minnesota, relieved by Portugal in the 4th inning. Bush a home run, his 3rd of the year, and Puckett got a home run. It was only his 2nd home run of the year. Milwaukee and Kansas City. At the end of 4.5 innings, Milwaukee won, Kansas City nothing. Aguirre on the mound for Milwaukee. Liebrad going for Kansas City. Yankees got 3 runs in the 1st inning as they played in Texas, but then Texas back to tied up with 3 in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Hudson on the mound for the Yankees, and Haywood going for Texas. Toronto against California, Cleveland against Oakland, and Detroit against Seattle later on. So that's the story on the Mitsubishi scoreboard, and we'll return in just a moment after this message from NatWest USA.
So, we lost them. Another bank solved their trade finance problem in a week.
Whoa. We've been at it 6 months. What we need is new blood.
Specialists with more imaginative views on the import-export market. Creative problem solvers. Where are today's creative problem solvers?
Who was the other bank?
NatWest USA.
Mitsubishi knows you want a truck to be tough. But we also know you want more for your money. Mitsubishi Mighty Max trucks give you more, up to 2.6 liters of power, a 5-speed stick, more standard features for less than Toyota, Nissan, or Mazda, even the lowest priced macro cab. The new Mitsubishi Mighty Max trucks. Mitsubishi, suddenly the obvious choice.
If you buy an extended warranty and then have transmission problems, you can take it to the dealer and pay a deductible. Or take it to the experts, and Lee Miles will fix it free.
Well, the Mets winning by a score of 5-1. They've now won 11 and lost 3 at home, and they go on the road for a long homestand. It'll be against Houston first, and then San Francisco, San Diego, and the Dodgers before returning back here to Shea Stadium. The turning point of this ball game came in the 7th inning. Bottom of the 7th inning, Howard Johnson is the batter. The Mets are leading 1-0. Johnson with a base hit to left field to score Gary Carter from second base. The Mets take a 2-0 lead. They went on to score 4 runs in that inning and break the ball game open, and they ended up winning by a score of 5-1. Our next broadcast here on WWOR will be Wednesday, and we'll be on the air at 8 o'clock New York time. And we will have a special half-hour pregame show, Kiner's Corner, from Houston, Texas. So we hope you can be with us when we come back to you from the big state of Texas.
Kiner's Corner has been brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By Mitsubishi Motors, who invite you to come see the full line of cars and trucks. Mitsubishi, suddenly the obvious choice. And by NatWest USA, raising the standards of banking. Kiner's Corner, produced by Steve Obama, directed by Jeff Mitchell, stage manager Curtis Reed, production assistant Joshua Shaheen.
Now see here, my good man. I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler.
Read my lips. I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler.
Don't worry. At Meineke, we install quality Everlast mufflers from just $18.93. Installed.
Ha-ha! Now it is clear. I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler.
You're not going to pay a lot for quality at Meineke.
Some love the fact that TDK high-bias audio cassettes feature a super-raveling formulation that incorporates cobalt-absorbed gamma-ferric oxide ions, which provide optimum efficiency will rise and upgrade. Some just love the music.
TDK, so real.
Would you ask your mother if there's anything left on the planet that needs cleaning?
There is. Nice shirt, Dad.
Introducing Surf, the new liquid detergent that gets out not just dirt and stains, but odors, too.
Hey, Daddy, your shirt smells good.
Yep, all cleaned up.
Yep.
Nope.
New Surf removes the dirt and the odors.
See, just Pocono Resorts have it all.
Our own champagne whirlpool.
Dinner. Good for Caesar himself.
Our own private pool.
Dancing. In a nightclub.
A round bed. A sauna. What more could you want?
Me?
Caesar Pocono Resort. You're so close.
Do you know you're sitting on the soap?
If you hum it, I'll strum it.
Have we finally found the key that will unlock the secret to eternal youth? Find out. Watch The Fountain of Youth, Stephanie Shelton's special report, starting Monday on the news at 10.
How do you feel? Fine. I didn't expect to see you here today. Well, I didn't have anything else to do, so I thought I'd drop in and see you. Thank you. You're welcome. What have you got there? I brought you some hard-boiled eggs and some nuts.
Now, you know I can't eat hard-boiled eggs and nuts. If you wanted to bring me something, why didn't you bring me a box of candy?
Well, they cost too much.
Well, what has that got to do with it?
You didn't pay me for the last box I brought you. Have one?
No, I'd rather not. Hard-boiled eggs and nuts. Mmm.
Don't put your hand in there. I have to drink that water.
Good morning, good morning. And how is my little patient today?
Just fine, thank you, Doctor. This is my friend, Mr. Laurel.
I hope I find you well.
Thank you, ma'am.
Tea.
Miss Smith, give this to the patient in room 22. Yes, ma'am.
How long do you think I'll be in here, Doctor?
Oh, at least a couple of months.
Gee, that's great. This is the first time in my life I've had such a wonderful rest.
Look what you've done.
Why, doctor!
You may go. Get out of here. Most embarrassing. As for you, get your clothes on and get out of here at once. Do you understand?
Nothing else to do. So you thought you'd come around and see me. Here I was for the first time in my life, having a nice, peaceful time. And you had to come and spoil it. Get my clothes. Mm.